Ladies and gentlemen, hello, good morning, guten Morgen, bonjour, buenos dias, buongiorno, calamari. For my Scandi friends, good morning. For my Dutch friends, guten Morgen, dobre outro. And I guess I could throw in g'day. Although I don't think there's probably many Australians here. Did I say a g'day to you, dear sir? G'day. Great to have you all here. And allow me to say, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, a very warm welcome to Cable Congress 2011 here in beautiful Luzerne. Now, as the slide says, yes, I am a news presenter with BBC World News. I'm based in London. But of course, we broadcast to more than 330 million homes around the world in every country, on every continent, and of course, millions of hotel rooms. Probably thanks to some of you in this room, indeed. And I have to say, it is a real pleasure, a real treat to be here among you all over the next couple of days as your master of ceremonies. Yep, this is it. I'm your MC. And I do know what probably many of you are thinking. Some of you, I'm sure, are going, yeah, this is great. Who is he? Who's this bloke? Never seen him in my life. This is what we get? Where's the big name? Where's the celebrity this industry deserves? Well, I've got to say, ladies and gentlemen, times are still tough. There's not a lot in the budget for a hired gob on a stick, which is basically what I am. Now, for those of you who perhaps do know me, you will know that I am typically that loud, and I do apologise for that loud, energetic Australian bloke that talks a lot with his hands, which I guess could be a good or a bad thing. A good thing, perhaps, if you kind of like that style, we can have some fun over the next couple of days. If you fall into the latter camp, bad, I can see it already in the eyes, sir. It means it's going to be a very long 2 days, isn't it? I do apologize in advance. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about your rather dynamic industry. And I have to confess, hand up, I was a bit of a virgin to the cable industry. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do a lot of this. I do a lot of emceeing, moderating, chairing debates all over the world, mostly for aviation, the airline industry. But when they came to me and said, oh, will you MC the event? I said, yeah, sure, sign me up. How much? No, I didn't say that. I said, sign me up. I said, for who? They said, Cable Congress. I said, huh? They said, oh, the cable industry. I said, what? Seriously, what do I know about the cable industry? So I thought, okay, I'm going to have to be a quick study here. Because, I mean, apart from appearing on television, yes, the ins and outs of your industry, I have to confess I was a bit ignorant to. But I'm a quick study, and as a good journalist, the first thing you turn to is Wikipedia. Well, that didn't really help me, to be honest. I put Wikipedia in, I put cable industry, cable television, I came up with all sorts of things. The system, radio frequency signals transmitted, coaxial cables, digital light pulses, fixed optical fibers on subscribers' property. Didn't quite understand. But what I did find interesting are your abbreviations, your acronyms. Of course, CATV, C-A-T-V, meaning cable television, but where it originates from, community antenna television, going back to the cable origins in 1948. In fact, I found that cable broadcasting goes back even further. Radio was broadcast or transmitted via cable to some European cities as early as 1924. I thought, that's really interesting stuff. You guys have been around for donkey's years, haven't you? But what is it about these acronyms? I was looking at it and trying to research, and I thought, you shouldn't call yourself the cable industry, you should call yourself the acronym industry. Because you've got CATV, I said it, C-A-T-V. You've got DVRs, PVRs, VOD, SVOD, VUDU. You've got to be careful with that one. IP, IPTV, VoIP, VoIP, and UPC, just to name a few. I was exhausted. But ladies and gentlemen, on a serious note, let's, no jokes, or joking aside, I should say, and I was joking about knowing, not knowing anything. I know a little bit about this industry. But boy, when we say what a challenging time you're all facing at the moment because of this very different world that we are looking at. The mix of media today, the choice of media content, the choice of media delivery, perhaps all represent the biggest challenges facing this industry today. In fact, some will actually say that cable companies are faced with perhaps the toughest competition they have yet to see. I was doing some research, and I had to cut some of this back because we're on a time schedule here. But I was looking at some numbers of homes that are connected by cable networks, cable television. In the US, at the end of 2010, 60.3 million homes. In the EU, the number I saw was around 67 million homes. But of course, what about the continued onslaught, the competition from the mobile phone operators and the internet? On the flip side of those numbers, I found some others. At the end of 2010, there were 293 million mobile phone subscriptions in the United States. 5 billion around the world, ladies and gentlemen. The internet, of course, they are trying very hard to dominate the delivery of entertainment programming. Google's in the house with us. Hello, Google. But let's not kid ourselves. Google's like a dog with a bone. It's not going to let go. So surely, perhaps all of this represents some serious long-term assault on the cable industry's domination. And perhaps, of course, it does raise the very important question: where will TV viewers of the future get their programming? And needless to say, I would imagine the buzzword in your industry is connectivity. But look, that's enough from this amateur, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start hearing from the people who really matter in this industry, because I know the team here at Cable Congress have worked tirelessly to put together a cracking program over the next few days for you. The who's who of the industry. Some great key presentations and some dynamic discussions and dialogue that's going to be taking place up here on stage during the panel sessions. Which, of course, ladies and gentlemen, means you know what's coming. It means we need your participation. I mean, this is what it's all about. You're here to talk about the latest methods in the industry, the best industry practices. So I implore you, take advantage of the collective expertise that the team have pulled together over the next couple of days. There'll be plenty of opportunities to ask the questions. I say, look, ask the questions that need to be asked. God forbid, don't rely on me. Be controversial. Be critical, please. If you don't agree with what's being set up here, contest it. The normal procedure applies. We have roaming microphones. So simply just raise your arm. We'll get a microphone to you. Tell us who you are, who you represent, and fire away. But on top of that, we also have another system. It's all about technology, right? We have another system in place. You can email us questions or tweet us questions right there. Email your questions @cablecongress.com. I'll read them out for you. Tweet, don't forget the hash #CableCongress 2011. I got the laptop, it's all ready and fired up. And of course, if you want to remain anonymous, please just mention that at the top of your tweet or your email, and I won't reveal where the question comes from. Another thing we're going to touch on, I'm obliged to do it, of course, health and safety, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to rabble on. Page 38 of your Cable Congress guide is going to tell you where to run to if this place starts burning down, things like that. So take a look at page 38, and on top of that, I do ask, please, that your mobile phones, your so-called third screens, things like that, all on mute, please, during the sessions, ladies and gentlemen.